Today, Nally Elementary would like to recognize all of our January Leaders of the Month. We are so proud of these students and their outstanding leadership in the classroom, on the playground, in the lunchroom, and also always displaying the 7 habits at Nolly School. Today, I will recognize each student in each grade and tell you a little something about them. Okay, first we're going to start with kindergarten in Mrs. Guerrieri's room. The first student is Harper Mydock, who synergizes. Harper is a wonderful asset to our classroom. She can be counted on to help out anyone in need. We also have Ruby Lycan in Miss Guerrieri's class, who synergizes. Ruby is always a great helper in the classroom. She is always the first to volunteer to help her classmates. In Miss Gabo's room, we have Renly Sedgwick, who puts first things first. Renly always gets her work done on time and truly tries her best. Also in Miss Gabo's class, we have Carson Moore. Carson thinks win-win. Miss Gabo said Carson is very kind to his friends. Thank you, Carson. In Mrs. Parton's room, we have Xavier Crislip. Xavier is being proactive. Mrs. Parton said, "Wow, I am so proud of Xavier. He loves to help others. He accepts responsibility, pushes to do his best, and is excited to learn. Thank you, Xavier, for inspiring our class." Also in Mrs. Parton's room, we have Samantha Trump. Samantha has grown in many ways. Mrs. Parton said, "I am very proud of her. She is positive and loves to learn. Keep up the hard work, Samantha." In Mrs. Zukowski's room, we have Abby Mothersbaugh. Mrs. Zukowski said Abby follows all of the 7 habits. Abby has a strong work ethic and chooses kindness on a daily basis. Thank you, Abby. We also have Julian Pradle, who is proactive in Mrs. Zukowski's room. Julian makes learning his big rock while at school. He knows how to make learning his priority. Moving on to first grade, in Mrs. Bowser's class, we have Max Selzer, who demonstrates all the 7 habits. Max is a very well-behaved, hard-working, attentive, and kind student. Max leads by example. Way to go, Max. We also have Paxton Crine in Mrs. Bowser's room. Mrs. Bowser said Paxton is a very polite, respectful, and well-mannered young man. He always puts forth his best effort. Keep up your great work, Paxton. In Mrs. Carmichael's room, we have Daphne Foss. Daphne thinks win-win. Daphne always tries to be a leader by showing kindness to her classmates and teachers. Daphne smiles and demonstrates positivity for learning. Thank you, Daphne. We also have Jackson Vargo, who puts first things first. Jackson shows he is leader by putting first things first. He works hard and tries his best in all of his classwork. In Mrs. Fiesler's room, we have Lincoln Cottrell. Lincoln synergizes. Lincoln is a great teammate who knows how to include and encourage others. Thank you, Lincoln. We also have Piper Dixon in first grade, who puts first things first. Mrs. Fiesler said Piper always catches up on her work and puts first things first with her learning. Thank you, Piper. In Mrs. Rector's room, we have Corey Cash. Corey is being recognized for all of the 7 habits. Corey is a superstar. She works carefully and neatly. Mrs. Rector said, "Keep up that great effort" in first grade, Corey. We also have Kenley Hughes, who is demonstrating all of the 7 habits in first grade. Kenley has been a wonderful first grader with a big heart. She is a friend to all. Kenley makes our classroom a better place each and every day. Thank you, Kenley. Okay, now moving on to second grade. Our first student is in Mrs. Grandin's room, Aubry Wyrick. Aubry uses all of the 7 habits daily in room 115. The way she treats others and her study habits are impressive. What a gem she is. Also in Mrs. Grandin's room, we have Costa Lasik. Costa constantly puts first things first in our classroom. His organization and work habits are incredible. Way to go. In Mrs. Rankin's room, we have Alex Lasik. Alex is a go-getter. He is a hard worker and is showing improvement with being proactive. Keep up your hard work, Alex. We also have Raylan Glass in Mrs. Rankin's room. Raylan is putting first things first. She's beginning to balance work and play. Mrs. Rankin said she is a ray of sunshine in our classroom. Way to go, Raylan. In Mrs. Van Dorsten's room, we have Reagan Graham. Mrs. Van Dorsten said Reagan uses all of the 7 habits. She said Reagan is truly a very special student. She comes to school every day ready to learn and is a fantastic leader on how to use all of the 7 habits. We also have Connor Wilson, who is proactive and puts first things first. Connor is a great student and a great kid. He is a hard worker and always does his best. In Mrs. Slimak's room, we have Brody Miller, who is being recognized for being proactive. Mrs. Slimak said Brody has had to miss days this year, but he has taken full responsibility for his makeup work and has made proactive choices. Thank you for all your hard work, Brody. We also have Piper Dingy, who puts first things first. Piper does an awesome job getting her most important work done before playing or going to recess. She works hard to stay on task and organized. Way to go, Piper. In 3rd grade, we're going to start with Mrs. Braley's class. We have Lauren Boston, who is proactive and thinks win-win. Lauren is always putting her best foot forward. She has a positive attitude no matter what task she may have. She is helpful, kind, hardworking, and as sweet as they come. We also have Graham Minnie, who begins with the end in mind. Mrs. Braley said, I am so proud of Graham for focusing on his goals. He has been working so hard, and it shows. Keep up that positive attitude, Graham. The next student is in Mrs. Esterly's room, and it is Mckenna Cobb, who is being proactive. Mckenna takes great pride in making sure to be prepared for school every day. Great job, Mckenna. We also have Caleb Schreiner, who is proactive. Caleb is so interested in learning new things. He comes to school every day prepared and ready. Keep up that great work, Caleb. In Mrs. Stassnis's class, we have Roman Slutz, who is being proactive and putting first things first. Roman does an outstanding job of being proactive in Mrs. Stassnis's class. He knows all of the routines and expectations and never has to be asked twice to get to work or do what he should. Then he always offers to be helpful to others around him and to Mrs. Stassnis. You are very appreciated, Roman. We also have Cali Hosler, who puts first things first. Callie's smile makes our room a better place. She is kind, helpful, and is always on the ball with her schoolwork. Mrs. Stassnis said, I couldn't imagine our class without her. And Mr. Straub's class, we have Sophia Taylor, who puts first things first. Sophia is a hard worker. When there is work to be done, she works until it's finished for as long as it takes before sharpening her saw. Also, we have Lacie Howard, who is proactive. Lacie is proactive in doing whatever it takes to get her work completed. She ran into a few math problems that she didn't know. She had another student with a whiteboard sit with her and help her figure out how to figure it out. Way to go, Lacie. All right, and finally, we're going to go on to 4th grade. Our first student is in Mrs. Gardner and Mrs. Barron's class, and it is Jana Mccalla. Jana is a human sunshine. She has such a positive attitude about school, and she works hard to spread kindness every single day. Thank you, Jana. Also, we have J.J. Sherman, who thinks win-win. J.J. thinks of others before himself. As the Grinch, he spread Christmas cheer to all the Nolly students. He is a hard-working 4th grader. In Mrs. Matson's room, we have Daniel Green, who synergizes. Daniel works well with others. He is a kind boy and a good partner in class. He is a true leader. In Mrs. Oak's room, we have Ashton Smith and Dylan Bren. Mrs. Oakes wanted to recognize both these boys for thinking win-win. She said these boys were recommended by another student. This student was having trouble playing football and catching the ball. Dylan and Ashton did not make fun of him or exclude him. Instead, they took their whole recess and helped their classmate to get better. What good friends and leaders. Thank you, boys. In Mrs. Toast's room, we have Madison Booth, who is proactive. Maddie is a true proactive leader in 4th grade. She is always prepared for every aspect of her school day. Maddie, thank you. You even keep Mrs. Toth on her toes. Also, we have Jackson Hughes, who synergizes. Jackson works with his classmates each day, making sure everyone is on track and has everything they need. Thank you for synergizing, Jackson. He also helps 1st and 2nd graders with their reading every day. Congratulations to all of our Nolly Leaders of the Month. The entire staff here at Nolly is so proud of you. Please keep up the great work and outstanding leadership here at Nolly. Congratulations.